San Diego is my safe space.
Yes.
I love going there. I go there as often as I can. My mom passed away in February, and the weekend after she passed was my weekend with my kids. And so we hopped on a plane and went down.
Yeah, San Diego is a beautiful spot.
Love it. Love the zoo. And you get in the water. You get off the freaking plane and you get out of the airport and smell the water from the bay. You're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So you're from Seattle originally.
Yes.
What brought you to San Diego?
The weather.
Was it really?
Yeah. So I actually went Seattle, born and raised, went to Seattle University, worked in downtown Seattle, ended up working at Microsoft after graduation, worked for them for, I want to say about 6 months before I said, corporate is not for me. So I moved to Chicago. I wanted to get a new city, being born and raised in Seattle and running around everywhere you run into someone. So I was like, I need to get a new city. Moved to Chicago. I didn't know anyone there. Worked for a company that was a startup called Groupon. Groupon blew up.
Oh, yeah.
I worked for them for a little bit. And then after about a year and a half in Chicago, I said, I'm not going to do any more cities that have bad weather. And I moved to San Diego. So I moved to San Diego with the intent of becoming a real estate agent. Didn't know anyone in real estate, didn't know one person in San Diego, but I said, I'm going to move to Southern California and become an agent. And moved there, started bartending, got my real estate license, sold my house first week as an agent.
What year is this?
This is 8 years ago. So yeah, so I mean, it's 2014, I think was like when I was getting started, like the end of 2014, I believe August.
So you started August of 2014, and tell me about right here, right now, where are you at in terms of stats, numbers, team, all that?
Yes. So I own Porchlight Realty. We're brokered by eXp. I don't want to be the broker, so I have it all brokered through them. We have 75 agents. That's just in my San Diego office. I got quite a few different companies, but we did last year with 50 agents. I think we ended up closing around 6 something. Market obviously shifted at, Q4 was just not the best. Good thing is we were still profitable Q4. Q1 of 2023 this year is actually still wasn't great, but thankfully May, we absolutely crushed it. So times are coming back. It's good. I'm really focused on finances. So the whole time we were still profitable. It just was not the COVID era of, sale after sale. During COVID, we did over 1,000 transactions. So in San Diego. So it's pretty intense.
Since you started, this is now how many years ago? 8 years ago?
Yes.
How many transactions have you and your team done?
Total? I think it was, I did a math the other day. I think I've done 2,600 transactions. Cause starting out, it was like 24 and then it was 46 and then it was 72 and then it was 140, 242. And then I think it went to like 800. It just like jumped, drastically. So the last couple of years have been really when it's gotten insane with us.
So
because I wasn't on, I didn't have a team in the beginning.
No. What was it that was kind of the fulcrum, the tipping point for you that got you from, I love what I'm doing. I'm making some good money here. I'm doing good deals. I need to start scaling. There's only one of me and so much time in the day. What was that point and what did you do?
So I think a lot of team leaders or just agents in general, just because they're good at real estate does not mean they'll be good at a team leader. So I don't think I was maybe the best real estate agent. I think I'm fantastic, but it's not something where I'm like, I'm doing 50 deals on my own and I have one TC. That was never me. I would never want to be that. So right from the start, I was actually at a conference. So I signed up for coaching for Tom Ferry. My first week in real estate. What happened was I was Googling people online and I'm like, real estate agents, like how to sell homes. The office I was in wasn't selling very many homes. I think the most an agent at my team or in my the brokerage I was at was doing 24 a year. And I was like, that just doesn't seem that much because these people on YouTube are like doing like 400 houses a year.
Just
What's
ask
the
them.
difference?
Yeah.
So
just ask them.
Signed up for Tom Ferry coaching week 1. I'm still coached in Tom Ferry coaching. Tom is my coach now. So that gave me that, that exposure to the people that were doing a ton. And what happened was I was at a conference. It's called Sales Edge. It was in La Jolla. And this gal in front of me heard me telling a story and she turned around and she was like, I need to get to know you. And I was like, okay, well, come to find out. She was a little crazy. We started a team together. I was like a year and a half in the business, way too early, but I'm glad that actually forced me to do it. Cause I don't know if I would have ever actually pushed myself to start a team.
Think of the growth.
Yes.
That you're now the internal growth you're forced to undertake.
Now I feel like it's crazy. I have about 10 companies and it's because I mastered-ished the real estate journey. I'm not the master, but I have a good idea and a good sense how to run a business. Plus, my family's all entrepreneurs. I've always grown up around it, but I can take that model of what I created in real estate, and now I can apply it to everything. And it's easy. Real estate's really tough, very competitive. High stakes, high margins, but it's a tough market to get into, especially in Southern California. So I'm taking that same model and now I'm applying it to coffee shops and alcohol and development, flipping team, escrow. Like all the different journeys of what we have in San Diego is like now I'm just being able to take that same method and apply it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what is it that gets you out of bed now?
My older brother told me I'd never make it. So look at me now, brother. No.
What's his name?
Sean.
Fuck you, Sean.
Exactly.
Go fuck yourself, Sean.
I send him pictures of my checks sometimes. Actually, this month.
Absolutely.
This last week was
I love that.
This last week was insane on my deposits. I should send him a screenshot.
Absolutely. That is quintessential fuck you, brother, big dick energy. I love that.
I'm going to screenshot my Chase account and send it to him.
Do it. That gives me goosebumps. And I'm an only child and I love that. That's so good. That's so good. Because I think anyone that is successful has that one person that tests their adversity.
Yep.
That tests their moxie in terms of who they are as a person. And you take that, and that is a fire that gets stoked forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
And it's either having a big brother or another sibling or just somebody that a competitor.
Yeah.
That's what had it with me. I was at the first American Title when I first started 9 years ago. And another rep here in town said, I was at like 10 of us were at a meeting for something and she was there and we're all going around. And I said, I'm Jeff Fargo, first American. She goes, oh, your second American Title. I went, bitch. Really? And then through the grace of God, fast forward 6 months later, I was on the #1 sales team here in Las Vegas.
There you go.
And to this day, I never forgot that she said that to me. And she's still a rep.
Yep.
Bless her heart.
I had one, that company I started out at, the broker, when I was in front of people, I was a newer agent and I asked a question at like a group meeting, a brokerage meeting. And he said in front of everyone, don't ask stupid questions. And then 7 years later, he calls me because he got into escrow. So escrow and title are, separate in California.
Right. Yeah.
And so he calls me and he said, oh, I'm an escrow rep now, blah, blah, blah. And, I go, well, I've got my own escrow company. And he was like, well, if you ever need an opinion or whatever, some help on anything. And I said, hey, do you remember giving me the, saying in front of everyone at that office meeting? You said, don't ask stupid questions. I said, you should take your advice. Don't ask me stupid questions.
That's awesome.
So it was kind of like 7 years later, I held that and I still got to say it back to him.
Isn't that, but again, it's like, oh, we've got to be nice to everybody, kumbaya. Fuck that.
I'm polite, but it's,
a
little dagger.
Godfather, friends close, enemies closer.
Yeah.
That's just what you do. And you always think about, I want to motherfuck this guy. But then it's like, no, wait a minute. I want to invite them. I want to keep them in my circle.
Yeah.
And so people, if you're really good, they don't know if you're friends or frenemies or enemies with that person.
Yeah.
I've always thought that way. So how's EXP? Because here's the thing. Again, I lived in Utah for 8 years, which Utah is the ground zero for MLMs.
Yeah.
For MLMs, for Acai bowls, for Donald Trump selling ACN video phones. Then all of a sudden, FaceTime came out on Apple and he was like, oh shit. So also, I'm from New York, so giant bullshit detector. Why is it that the stock is doing great? It's like the fastest growing real estate brand out there. What is it about EXP that is just like lets you run and grow?
One thing is it puts the agents in charge. So Glenn Sanford, the founder of EXP, he's also the current president. He is amazing. He's all about the agents and he's a smart guy. I mean, you look at it, look what businesses, for example, why do real estate offices or real estate companies not own their buildings?
If they go to business, they're not tied to it.
Shit, but
exposure.
But why the hell wouldn't they own it?
Exactly right.
You're in real estate. Why doesn't Sotheby's or Compass or any of them own their buildings? Doesn't make any sense to me. So they're renting. So they're a tenant, which we all know as real estate, it's not the best option. Owning is where you get your real equity. So you're saying is that you're going to go and follow another real estate company that doesn't even know what they're doing in their first place. So that was actually a big red flag when I first was at that first company. years ago.
That's interesting. I never thought about that.
Why would you be around someone who doesn't own their own real
Yeah.
estate?
Yeah.
Sotheby's, I think their La Jolla office is $150,000 a month in rent. So when I was looking at a building, because EXP, which will come full circle, EXP doesn't own any real estate. I'm sure they do, but the whole idea is like they don't own real estate. They don't have offices. We're a virtual. So the cool thing about it is that EXP can share resources. Say you have 88,000 agents, which EXP currently has, which by the way, when I joined 3 years ago, people told me I was too late to the game. They had 27,000 and I'm making around $30,000 a month right now in rev share.
Awesome.
And I bought my building with stock. Yes, KW agents that told me the stock isn't real. It's real.
Fuck you.
KW, I like you.
Yeah.
But
okay.
If you're still open, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But on that, it's the idea is like they don't own their building. So when I went to go look for a building, because EXP isn't going to give me an office. That's why they're so profitable, is they're not paying for all these offices and these employees.
The overhead has to be astronomical.
Front desk, person sitting there doing nothing all day. They don't have to have that salary. So with us, we went and bought our own building. Well, I was looking at rentals, and because I newer team, didn't want to go and buy a building. Went and looked. I said $17,000 a month for rent for 5,000 square feet in San Diego. Screw that. I went and bought a building. My mortgage is $6,500. Mind you, I had to put $300,000 down. But
okay,
I sold my stock that I got. That I wasn't apparently not a sellable stock. I'm like, this, you have to wait for it to vest. Any company that you go and join where a company gives you stock to join, or,
I have it.
Yeah, you have to wait for it to vest.
Yeah. How long is your vesting? How long is your vest period?
It's tiered, but 3 years is typical. But there's also other stock that they reward you with, or that's that you can buy that you can sell at any time. So there's different levels and different things that you can do. But stock, you can invest in it. You can buy it at a discount. So every transaction that you have, they take 5% if you want to opt into this. 5% out of your check, and it buys stock at a 10% discount. So you just do that on automatic. It's like a forced savings account. You're not going to miss 5% of your commissions.
Yeah.
You just do that all day long.
Got it.
You're doubling your money.
Okay.
So I did that, sold my stocks, just some of them, bought a building. So that was my first building. Then I did it again just about 6 months ago, bought another building. So I'm just doing that over and over again. But I look at these companies and I'm like, you got to follow the method of EXP because they can have shared resources. We have front desk people. We have everything in-house. It's just that you go online and they're like, oh, go to your little chat room, whatever. No, you can call them, you can text them, you can email, you can reach out to your broker however you want. But EXP World, you walk in and you literally take a ticket, like you're, just going grabbing a ticket. They call your number, you walk your little avatar in over here, and soon enough they answer your question. It's literally within minutes you have your questions answered.
So it's because every realtor to some extent has ADD or ADHD.
Yes.
So it's a very ADHD, ADD friendly system.
It's instant. It's right? Like, yeah, you want your answers, especially if you're busy. You ain't got time for that. You just walk into the thing and get your question answered and you walk out.
Yeah.
I've been in EXP World. In the 3.5 years I've been at EXP, I've probably been at EXP World 10 times total.
Yeah.
And 6 of those is because I was coaching a class. So they do classes in there. They have over, I think, like 80 hours a week of materials, of new materials. And it's all recorded and just constant. So if you want to get in there and learn, you want to go in there and do lessons, trainings. If you want to go in healthcare, if you want to go in and figure out your tech problems, anything is all in EXP World. It's actually genius. And people made fun of it until COVID hit. And then they realized, oh, we don't really need offices. But say that this is, and I don't know exactly how they do the shared resources, and I don't know, and I could find out, but I've never asked them. But imagine if it's like lunchtime at New York, so Eastern Standard Time, and your employees are all taking lunch for that time zone. Okay, well, what about the other places that are busier because it's morning? You can share resources across the board. So the front desk person isn't your broker. So they don't need to be trained on New York or California or whichever state they're helping. They can help anyone. Yeah. They can literally be that service provider for different areas so that people can jump in and fill in. Like our transaction coordinator department, our gal lived in the mountains in Tennessee. And she worked just for Porchlight, but she was paid by EXP.
The scalability factor is what gets me going.
It's genius.
I love that. Yeah. It's fucking Mensa level stuff.
That's why we're profitable. Right? Look at Q1.
Yeah.
You look at the teams and you also look at the company. Look at all the other companies that were negative during Q1. I'm sorry, but if you look at last couple of years were the best years in real estate for a lot of places. If your company was negative the last couple of years, something's wrong. You're about to get hit very hard over the next 5 years.
You're done. Is EXP global?
Yes, 24 countries.
Okay. And I would assume most of the agents are United States?
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Majority are in the United States. Canada now just passed 9,000. But yes, majority are United States.
So at your level, like where are you ranked?
I was number 4 last year for the company.
For the entire company?
Yep.
Number 4 for the entire company EXP in the world?
Yes.
The fuck you talking to me for? Alex.
I need to get to number 1.
Holy shit, Alex. You've got juice. Alex has juice.
Yeah, we have we're number 4. Currently today, we're behind 4th by $1 million in sales.
Why?
Because I have 9 other companies that I'm running.
I don't care.
I'm making a lot more on the flips.
Hey, you know what? Okay.
And development.
Touche, motherfucker. Okay.
So,
I got it. I love it. That's great. Touche,
I want my team also, you got to realize I teach my team finances. So my team now, the hungry guys that were like really hungry when they started out, they're kind of chilling out. They're like, all right, I got my rentals and I have this. I have 3 Airbnbs. Mind you, there's a guy who joined my team and he's one of my original OGs. We have an OG text thread. It's called Porchlight OGs. It's
great.
But we go and I have him. He when I met him, he was working at a brokerage. He was sleeping not on his friend's couch, but behind his friend's couch on a mattress in an apartment complex. He now has probably 4 Airbnbs, all owned in San Diego, California, houses. This guy's making a lot of money.
It's great.
And the cool thing is he's set himself up. So now he doesn't have to go and just be like constant hustle. I don't want my agents ever to have to sell a home. I want them to want to sell a home. I want them to help people and then they have that right mindset. So I always teach, and I haven't done it in a bit, but we call it Financial Fridays. And what we do is we just talk about credit score. How can you improve your credit? What should be your first purchase as an agent? If you have any passive income, that's how you can buy your luxury items. So if you want to be that fancy agent with the Mercedes or the BMW, you can do that, but it has to come from passive income. So whether it's an Airbnb that you own or rev share stock from EXP, you can do that, but it has to come from that. So all of my agents, passive and luxury, or all their luxury items have to come from passive income. So I always say to them, you have to be a landlord before you own a Land Rover. So make your landlord, skills pay for your Land Rover. And yeah, you can go get a $300,000 G-Wagon, totally fine. But that payment better be covered from a rental property.
We get so caught up with social media and perception and our egos being in sales.
Yeah.
That we have to look good for everybody else.
Yep.
Where meanwhile, you've got coupon book that you're paying. I'm dating myself, but you've got payments that you're making on a car or whatever.
For sure.
I tell the story all the time. When I was first starting out, I went to one of the top luxury offices, office in general here, met with a guy. He was paying $1,600 a month for his car lease. And I'm like,
wait,
what?
Is that a bad thing? I think mine's $2,700.
Yeah, but he was also, I think the apartment he was renting was less.
Yeah. No.
Like he was not a top producing, he was a mid-level agent at a wonderful office, but the office, I think he felt the expectation that he had to drive an E-Class Mercedes. And so he leased one. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
I had a guy that quit my team. He was on my Houston team. So I have a couple expansion teams as well. I found out that he lived in an apartment, carport, not even a garage, in Houston, and he had a Maserati. And I said, you are the dumbest fucker.
Right.
And he goes, that is so insulting. I said, you don't pay attention. I go, you're spending so much of your income on your freaking car. You're never going to be able to save enough to buy a place.
Exactly right.
I was like, you need to get a multi-unit, use an FHA loan. Well, my credit. Well, how are you ever going to repair your credit when you're struggling to make your freaking Maserati payment so that you can look rich when you're fucking poor? Like, what are you doing? You will always be in that struggle. And if you think a Maserati's nice, you're going to always be going after something better and better.
Maseratis suck.
I know.
Maseratis are dog shit.
But I'm like, it's a waste of money.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're going to get something. You don't get a Maserati.
But it's going to be problems.
Holy hell.
I also think, I don't know if it was his lease or if he bought it or what it was, but problems with the car. Oh, I need to get new tires now. And I'm like, yeah, your tires are $2,000 or $2,500. I'm like,
all day.
Yes.
All day.
Which if you have passive income, do it all day long. Like, who cares? But if you're not getting that passive income from your rentals, then you should not be doing that.
So let's talk for a second about wealth and creating wealth and an agent creating wealth, because most agents, I don't think, have a business plan where you have multiple business plans, right?
I don't know. Maybe more so now from ChatGPT.
Oh, we're going to talk
now
about
they
that.
plan it out.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk
I have
about
business
that.
plans for sure.
Now you're talking dirty. I got goosebumps from ChatGPT. Trust me. We'll talk about that in a second. We'll put a pin in ChatGPT.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about, most agents are non-producing agents, meaning they're barely making enough money to keep the lights on.
Yep.
And they're part-time. What is it that you do to create full-time wealth, full-time revenue for a realtor?
Relationships. So it all goes back to leads. No matter what, you could be the best real estate agent out there. If you don't have lead flow, if it's open houses or a referral network, where are you going to get your sales from? So I make relationships with lead providers. Instead of me creating them for the opportunities, my team, myself, I actually create the relationships where Zillow, Realtor.com, Veterans United, Navy Fed, US Bank, all the different big companies, they have massive marketing channels. They have funnels that are like so dang big that if you Google one word, you're for sure going to land on one of their websites. Why do I, as a small company, want to compete with that? Why don't I just partner with that? So I partner with those companies. They then provide the lead. Do we pay a referral fee? Of course. But you know how much it costs that company to generate that lead? Probably that exact referral fee. And they're doing it on such a large scale. They're getting that Costco discount because they're doing such a massive amount.
They're
spending
earning their split.
Millions.
They're earning their split all day long.
Yes.
Who in terms of partnerships, who's your number one partner that you have that generates leads for you?
Zillow.
Okay.
Yeah, Zillow Flex partnership. So what it is, it's referral based versus you don't pay up front, you pay when you close.
Like a 30% rip is what they
30 to 35, and
Okay.
it may increase, but yeah, for sure. If I were to try to create that exact lead and close a few hundred, which we've already done this year, if I were to get a couple hundred deals from that, where would I have ever had the funds? Because I would have to pay for it up front. You pay for it up front if you create your own funds. You have your salary employed. You don't even know if those leads are going to work. You're paying for them up front. It's going to be how many days till you get your first closing? So you have to pay for how many months before you even get one? And you don't even know if what you're doing is going to work. Whereas Zillow does it all for us, and they're genius. And where do home buyers shop? Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com.
Yeah.
Now I've got a few other ones. So we're partnered with Zoocasa, which is owned by eXp. Can't get it unless you're at eXp. And then another one is eXpRealty.com, and then Realty.com as well. eXp bought as well.
Regarding Zillow, Zillow has gotten into the lending space.
Yes.
Zillow's gotten into the title and escrow space. When does Zillow get into the realtor space and they just start paying, showing agents 40, 50 grand a year with full benefits?
Yeah. I mean, it's the Redfin model, and they're 14 years in the business and they still haven't made a profit. Go try it.
I
just
think,
like Zillow offers.
I think that it's coming though.
Oh, for sure. They're already a brokerage, but
yeah.
I hope it comes so then they realize how hard my fucking job is.
Agreed.
I love Zillow.
Preach.
But real estate side is a lot harder. Tech and real estate are two different things. Being a good team leader and being a good real estate agent, two different things.
Absolutely.
You being good at tech does not mean you're going to be good at being able to systemize a process.
Yeah.
ChatGPT and automation and everything else is not going to be able to replace the real estate agent. Will you be able to eliminate a lot of agents? Of course, because one agent can do a lot more business, but you're not going to be able to eliminate real estate agents. Not yet.
Regarding ChatGPT, and I got involved, I was balls in early December, which in ChatGPT, that's like 10 years in dog years for AI.
Tom Ferry was telling us to download Jarvis years, like it's been maybe like 2 years, or I don't know when it first came out.
It's now become a very digestible, interwoven part of society is AI and what's going on. And with ChatGPT, I go back and forth between ChatGPT and Bard is who I'm using right now. But both of them on my phone, all the time. I'm on that. My feeling is that it's going to make the good agents better because it's going to give them more time to go out and as a realtor, all you'll be doing is selling homes. Full stop. This will systematize you to sell more homes.
Yeah.
But the shitty agents, you're working at Foot Locker. You're out.
Yep.
You're gone. If you don't adapt to the whole AI, tsunami that is coming, but in a good way.
For sure.
And I think
here's the thing though, you can adapt to it. I don't think that if you're older and you are not wanting to do the ChatGPT thing and you are an agent and you're good and you have a sphere of influence, you're going to be fine.
But that's the exception to the rule.
No, but they'll be fine. But if you're a good agent and you have a sphere, you'll be fine.
If you have a sphere, you're well insulated. But I'm 53.
Yep.
And I'm techie. I'm as techie gets. I've been doing stuff on America
like
Online.
Older. I'm talking about like 70s.
Well, they're
50s isn't old anymore.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because I'm almost 40, so it's not that much older.
You're fine. I think that if you are, like NAR said, I think it's like the average agent right now is a female and they're like 56 or 57 years old. If you are not getting advised in how to leverage artificial intelligence, you are out of a job within a year. You're out. If you don't have a sphere, I think you're out of a job.
I mean, if you are doing, if you don't have a sphere period, it's already going to be tough. But if you're a good agent, no matter what, you'll be fine. I don't think you'll need it. I don't think you'll need AI.
I think
you'll be selling less than what you could potentially.
Agreed.
You're missing out on potential. And the amount of sales that are going to happen is going to be less because people are locked in at low interest rates. Unless the government somehow allows rates to be assumable, or even that you can take your loan to the next house, something's got to happen.
Right.
Which someone's like, oh, the government couldn't do that. I'm like, the government allows banks to loan 10x what they have in their accounts. I'm like, they can
do whatever they want to.
And if they need to create inventory, one, get our permit process down, streamline that. I'm all about streamlining, which automation and things you should be able to go in and be like, can I build a house here?
So how are you specifically using ChatGPT right now to weaponize and monetize your business in real estate?
Everything from showing instructions to listing descriptions to driving directions for listings. So you can put in all the addresses, tell them how many minutes you want to sit between each one, which school districts are great in the area. Hey, which house has a better school district? All of that. And then you put a little nice itinerary, agenda, hand it to the client when you go out on showings, staple it to the listings, good to go. We use it for blogs. So every day we're blogging for SEO content. We're scrubbing sites to make sure that we are getting the most keywords and backlinks for SEO and maximizing that. We're doing, really anything and everything that you need. Like I said, business plans. So I'm creating a marketing company. And what we're going to do is, it's not for real estate agents. It's for just other businesses, small businesses in general. But we're creating all of the marketing funnels and just different monitoring for online marketing for them. But I created almost the entire business on ChatGPT and in probably about an hour. Everything from contracts, which I will have reviewed by my attorney. It's not an attorney, but it's smarter than an attorney. You'll have everything done. And for the people that are, when you said, agents being out of a job, it's not the agents, it's the transaction coordinators. It's the escrow officers. That is going to be, and people said, oh, you can't get HOA docs and, call and send. I go, have you seen Google's assistant that calls and makes haircut appointments and talks to a human? Yeah, it can call in and get HOA docs. It can do all of that. If you train it, it'll be able to do it. So if you're the one that's going to be naive to it and say, no, I'm not saying it's going to eliminate all those jobs, but it's going to eliminate a lot. My friend's team is entirely ran by AI for their transaction department. They don't have a TC anymore. They got rid of them. And we're in the early stages. Yeah, even though, 10 years in, like you say, we're still in the early stages of what we're going to be able to do with AI. But I don't think that the human interaction of us being able, our Google assistants are going to be able to call and talk to clients on behalf of Mark.
Yeah. And
if you want it to sound like Mark, it could sound like Mark.
Agreed.
So they won't know.
Yeah. Well, they'll
and
know.
Then you'll get his text script back. Everything can be done automatic. So
you can get a video text from Mark.
Yeah.
And it's AI.
Yes.
And they have no idea.
I know.
And it's your voice and everything.
Yep.
That's still beta, but that's coming.
Yeah. No, you can do
better.
It for courses. So if you want a course, have it created. So I do a lot of real estate courses on markpattisonrealestate.com. You can go there, all my courses, content, everything. But now it's like, I can create course content. I can create videos all through AI.
What about AI scares you?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
I don't get scared of anything. What's the point of getting scared?
Well, how 39?
Yeah.
That's why I don't get
38.
scared. That's why I don't get scared. You're 38.
What, you get scared or more scared when you're old? Scared,
Absolutely.
More scared when you're older?
Absolutely.
Of what? Death?
Yes.
I'm not scared of death.
You will be.
Yeah.
Everyone is. Everybody is.
My grandma wasn't scared of death.
Almost, I'd say 99% of everybody is scared of not scared.
I'm also the 1%.
But it makes it.
Point proven.
Okay, no. but Mark, it makes, as you get older, it makes the time you're spending on this earth more fragile.
Of course, I know. I was even considering not coming to this podcast because it's an hour
and much more delicate.
No.
Okay,
I'm kidding.
Hey man, whatever.
No. I love podcasts. I was kidding. No, but that's why, like my trips, I just took my niece and my dad to Paris for spring break.
Good for you.
For Mother's Day, I bought my mom my mom and my dad a trip to Europe, but now I'm going with them. That was not the plan, but I'm like, I need to go with them. I bought them also.
Good for you.
We're flying to Japan to see the cherry blossoms in March.
Cool.
So I'm spending time with my family because I know time is the most important thing.
You have balance.
No, exactly.
Which is what most people do not have.
No, you need to be spending time with your family.
Yeah, and I'm same.
Or your loved ones, whomever.
Whoever nourishes your soul.
Yes. In
a positive, healthy way.
Yeah.
You need to be with them more than anything else.
But as for if I were to die today or even in, when I'm older, I'm happy with where I'm at, totally satisfied. I think if people are scared, it's because maybe they haven't achieved what they want to achieve. Whereas I'm satisfied where I'm at right now.
When I said scared, I mean more of it gives more credibility to the seconds that you're here and to the seconds that you spend with somebody.
All that matters in life is time.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like I'm with you. I hired a personal assistant a couple months ago. She takes care of all my stuff for me.
Yep.
I'm out of anything else. I'm out. I'm getting out of being a rep.
Yep.
I'm hiring on, my company's hiring juniors to come under to help work that. If Alex needs a farm for something, there's going to be a rep that he can use with Fidelity National Title, done, on it. But he doesn't want to be texting me for that stuff.
Which AI are you having for that? No.
Which right now,
no.
Right now, well, it's honestly right now, what my company's doing is we're looking at bringing on juniors, younger, tech savvy, don't care if they have real estate experience at all, but social media experience.
Yeah.
I want someone that's going to be working under me. They've got to be very well versed in social media, play well in the Google ecosystem.
Yep.
And at least have their foot in the water with AI. I could train them up from there. That's all I need.
Yeah.
And off we go.
No, I was actually last night, I was talking to two guys at this networking event that we had for the Latin Chamber of Commerce. And we were going through everything in Vegas, at Circa downtown. And we were going through all of how much personal brand matters now. So because of AI and different else, and how much social media, and people can knock it all day long, but personal brand is what's going to make you the money. If you don't have a personal brand, or your brand in general. So Porchlight Realty is my company. If you don't build that brand up, look at these other, brands, Compass, Sotheby's, eXp, like they have a brand. You have to create your brand and then follow that and use whatever you can with automation. But social media is massive. Like you should be leaning into it more, double down content, video.
And it's funny. I've seen some people put out content and they say, don't put out that much. Quality is better than quantity. I'm like, fuck that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Most people have the attention span of a gnat, goldfish. And so if I'm not in front of somebody multiple times a day or anybody multiple times a day with their brand, you're out.
And your post, just because you posted didn't mean everyone saw it.
Exactly right.
Yeah. They may not have been on that day. They may not have been on that hour. The algorithm didn't show it to them. Just because you saw it and you posted it doesn't mean everyone saw it.
And if you had a post that was on YouTube Shorts 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and performed poorly, put it back out again.
Yeah, change up the front, change the beginning.
And there's multiple AI.
I was gonna say, there's AI for that.
Oh, please. I have all that. That I have all dialed in. I'm actually building on an infographic to show like my clients to go, this is how I'm repurposing content, pushing stuff out on a daily basis.
Yeah, you can have one piece of content, throw it into AI, have it split up into 20 different pieces, have it automated to post. I mean, you guys can go into ChatGPT and do a plugin where you can go to Instacart and you can build out a meal plan for yourself.
Yeah, it's cool.
Have it delivered to your house.
It's so cool.
You don't have to do anything.
Right.
Like you can do absolutely everything from AI. And just in life, and I mean, it's crazy. I think that I play around with it every single day, but actually we hired someone that's on our team now. He started last week and his job is solely basically automation and AI. Like just all of that is his job.
Whatever you're paying him isn't enough, and give him like,
I don't know about that.
Well, I would, someone like that. It's like, here's a whopper amount of money, but then also we're going to pay you back end on performance-based stuff, because then it gives him or her incentive to go bananas. I think that if it's massive, right?
Yes.
And to be building stuff out now, we're all early adopters of this thing, but the ones that are doing it are going to be very, very, very happy in another 3, 6, 9 months down the road.
There's already people that are making millions of dollars off of automation, like just within these, and people are like, I mean, I just got a home sale and the guy gave us proof of funds and it was $34 million and he's in his 20s.
It's awesome. Good for him.
Online
Good for
and
him.
everything else that is part of it is going to be a lot of what's going to take over.
And there's something you talked about before that I liked, and that is, I think that AI is never going to remove the role of a realtor.
Yes.
Because it's still the biggest, most stressful financial transaction that someone's going to undertake.
Yep.
It's buying or selling a home. And for that, you've got to be belly to belly with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You need to talk to them and listen to them and empathize with them and give them your experience. But they've already seen you online multiple times. You're in their algorithms.
Yeah.
You are talking nerdy to me. If you say to me, Fargo, I love you. You're in my algorithms. Let's talk. Then I know I'm in there. I've woven into their life. Love, 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 love that. And that's what you're obviously doing that already now.
Yeah. I need to double down on it a lot more. It's a lot of work, but it comes back. And plus, when you do this content, or if you do anything that's online, it stays, it lives forever.
Forever.
So kids, if you post anything online on bad websites, it lives forever.
Which is why
there's screenshots.
I have it. My daughter's 13 and my son is 7. I tell my daughter all the time, it's so good that the internet wasn't around really when daddy was in college.
Yeah.
Because if you would have seen full head of hair Jeff with one chin and Daytona Beach spring break in 1989, drinking Busch Light from the 7-Eleven across the street from the Holiday Inn Oceanside, eating shrimp egg rolls.
I was on Miami South Beach when I was in college spring break, but I didn't actually have a hotel. We slept on the beach because we didn't have any money.
Badass.
Because Disney paid us minimum wage, $4.80
I hear
an hour.
Disney's awful to work for.
It was a great experience, but I was also a college student and a freshman, and I was 19 years old. So I did a Disney program, Disney University.
Good for you.
But as for going into it for a career, I wouldn't do it unless I was an executive there.
Yeah. Well,
Which I've thought about it. I'm like, maybe I should start going that path. Teach them how it's done.
What's on your radar right now in terms of growth? You got a lot going on, man. You're a super smart guy, serial entrepreneur. What's on your radar now?
So right now I have 160. I'm not a lender. I got to do the math in my head real quick. 214 units being built. So 3 different development projects.
And this is all San Diego County?
San Diego County, and then I'm going to be doing one in Henderson here. So
awesome.
Clark County. Yeah.
Clark County. Boy.
I know my counties. Which, by the way, guys, I paid my property tax for that place. And I was like, well, that's not that bad for a month. It was for the year. So I thought that was the property tax for the actual year. And because I'm used to Southern California, which is not as bad as Texas. So by the way, Texas, if you're middle income or lower income, more expensive. Tricks on you about the taxes thing. But California's not as bad, but Clark County, amazing place to invest. So developing that's one of my big projects. That's going to be 54 units right across from City Hall in Henderson. And then I'm going to be starting that marketing company. So we're going to go to small businesses and be basically figuring out what they need to have an online presence.
I love that.
If you're a doctor, an attorney, or someone else, they don't have the time, nor do they want to know. And I've got all the systems in place for what I've done for my companies that I own already, that we're going to duplicate what we've done and just copy and paste.
I love that. I love that. And by the way, welcome to Henderson. I live in Henderson.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
So mine's the one shitty apartment complex right across from City Hall. So City Hall's like, you can change it.
I know exactly where that's going on, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's called Hendertucky.
Okay.
Is that area, right, Alex? Yeah. Hendertucky. Which,
you didn't tell me that when I was buying it.
Yeah. No. But it's trust me, you don't, and you know this, and I learned it from my grandfather. You don't make money in real estate when you sell it. You make it when you buy it. You are absolutely in the right place at the right time. Right now, what you're doing there.
Yeah, I always think
100%.
Right place, right time, all the time. I bought my first place in 2007. I don't know if anyone knows, but something really bad happened after that. Market crashed. I still held on to it. I made $160,000 from that sale.
Good for you.
So all you have to do is just buy real estate and wait. No matter what the market's doing, if you buy more real estate, I don't think you can go wrong. Could you have done better? Of course, but I think that you can't go wrong.
I want to ask you a series of questions. And by the way, this is all, we talked before. This is all like not planned. But I'm just thinking about stuff. And also my Adderall now is kicking in. So you got me. If I was a realtor and I had $1,000 to invest in myself right now, what should I do?
Open house signs.
Love that.
Which then means just go do a shit ton of open houses.
Ass load of them, right?
Yeah.
With your
every
picture,
single day.
With your picture on it, your
phone
branding,
number,
your phone
QR
number,
code.
your name. Yes, put the brokerage in. We've got to be compliant, but you're not buying from a brokerage. You're buying from a person. QR code for everything. They can track it.
Yep.
The whole thing, right? So as many open house signs as you can get and be doing open houses constantly.
40 open house signs. And then, if it's your listing, maybe jazz it up with a mega open house. Google it. It's pretty easy. Just make the open house stand out. Buy a coffee cart or whatever you're going to do, or rent a coffee cart. That's what I would do with my money.
Okay. What if I had $10,000? Same question.
I would, now it's different because the investing in leads isn't really a thing, but $10,000, buy 400 open house signs. No. Leverage. No. I would for sure do the open house thing. And then I'd probably have some money in reserves. So biggest thing is make sure that you have reserves set away. But I truly think that the best agents are when your back's against the wall. Real estate when you're brand new is not easy. So if you have a exit plan or, a backup, your parents are willing to help you out, you're more than likely not going to make it. You got to have your back against the wall and have someone doubt you. Like my brother, like we talked about, which I, exaggerate on that. My brother's not an asshole. He's great.
It's great. No,
but he's an older brother.
But it's he was being an older brother to you. No. And throwing no shade on him whatsoever. That's what's motivated you to get to where you are.
Yep.
Thank him. I'm sure you do.
Oh, for sure.
Every Christmas, I'm sure you do. Like for you to send him your bag. I love that. I've done that before.
I buy his kid. His daughter has probably 30 designer handbags from Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Prada.
From you?
Yeah, from me.
That's awesome.
Oh, none from him. He would never. And he makes good money.
Whenever
but he
he
would
sees
never.
that, he'll think of you. That's a small little tiny fuck you every time he sees his daughter with that.
Probably even better. Same with his wife. So I buy my sister-in-law jackets, Montclair, all that stuff. And my nephew,
So good.
he's like, man, I don't know. I want to look at these like 3 different, all the kids with their shoes. He's 14. So he's like, I don't know between these 3, which ones I should get. And I'm like, let's get them all. I took him to Beverly Hills for back to school shopping and I spent $40,000 each on them.
You're a good man.
But I love my niece and nephew are amazing. Would I ever do that to my own children? Absolutely not. I can spoil them as the cool uncle. My brother does not do that to his kids. He takes care of them. They're the sweetest children. And she's 19 and gorgeous. And everyone's like, wait till she's a teenager. No, she's still stayed the same. Super sweet.
Yeah, they do.
The nephew's 14. He's amazing. He's super nice, very loving. They call me up. Hey, what's up, Mark? They come down. My nephew was just in San Diego. I mean, they always love to visit me. I wonder why. San Diego, and they get shoes and handbags.
Yeah.
No.
And you have kids?
Nope, no kids. So
No
that's
kids?
why I get to
Okay.
spoil them.
Then you live vicariously through them.
Yeah, I love them.
Awesome.
I love kids. I just, time constraints, and I want to be able to, I like work. So I want to be able to focus on work and my career and not feel that I'm missing out on that opportunity with children that I should be paying attention, going to the baseball game or the ballet or the plays. I want to be there for my kids if I were to have them, but I'm more of the cool uncle.
What made you invest, because you're in San Diego and doing extremely well.
Yes.
What got Henderson, Nevada on your radar to invest there?
I was just shopping online. So just looking at different markets and seeing where money's moving, seeing where the flow is, where I could, find potential. And I came across this building in Henderson and I said, hey, what about this? And I asked probably like 2 or 3 agents, and a couple of them said, hey, do you want a business partner on it? And I was like, oh, ding, ding, ding.
Exactly right.
I must have found something good.
Exactly right.
I was like, no, I don't need a business partner. Partners are for dancing. So I don't bring in business partners. My coach taught me that. Yeah. So I don't bring in business partners on that aspect. So I looked at it. I ran the numbers. Mind you, the cash flow and everything is not massive, and it's not there as like, you're not going to just, but as an investor, you got to think is like, do you want a long-term play or do you need cash flow? I don't need cash flow. I mean, I always need more money, but I don't want more money now.
Right
I
now
want
you
more
don't.
money later on.
Yeah.
So then I cannot spend it because then I'd have to pay tax on it. And then I would just basically give my niece and nephew so they can inherit it, apparently.
Well, that's a buy and hold investment for you. It's multifamily?
It's 11 units. And then that's the one that I'm going to be turning into 54.
That's awesome.
So I actually met some people last night too. So I met an architect last night. The architect that I had, we didn't have any partnership, but the one that gave me a ton of advice on it, he's retiring. So he's moving to California. He's doing the reverse, but he's going to the coast. It's because he's rich. He's going to California, be on the water with his wife. He's like, no, but I'll introduce you to some people. But that's what's going to be. So that's the opportunity that I'm getting out of it. But I found out that while under contract. So I didn't know I could develop it that. But I looked around and there's a lot of buildings. So you look around and you see, you're like, okay, lot size, pretty similar to those. You can click around, see what it is. It's easy to do. Did I know all the zoning? No. But once I was under contract, commercials, longer escrow, you go in, or what do you call it here? Longer
escrow.
You say escrow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So longer escrow. And then I, ended up figuring out I could develop it. And now what's that going to turn into? 54 units, massive commercial / residential.
Here's the secret time. As Bert Kreischer says, secret time news is you start doing that. And then you go back to the city and go, hey, I'm making an investment here.
Yep.
And, you're trying to rejuvenate, which means get the shitty people, out of there or just make it nicer. What's the place that's there that they have amazing steak and it's super cheap? It's smoky as hell. I think it's called the Rainbow that's there. Food's amazing. And it's like navy bean soup. Like if you're like 80 years old, that's where you go to eat. And it's like $4, $3, like super cheap. But everyone in there is like smoking, Marlboro Lights. And you literally get, you can get lung cancer if you're waiting for a table for longer than a half an hour. You're just fucked. But you go back to the city and you go, hey, I made an investment here. Look what's happened. Here's, I'm 100% occupied. Here's my rents, all public information, apartment.com. I'm now looking at this over here. What can you do for me?
Oh, they already did. They're giving me a grant.
Awesome.
So I've already talked to the city. I've met with them twice, but
That's
now
the move.
because I do have so many projects, I haven't focused on it too much. But now that I have a person here that I'm going to be working with to then, boots on the ground, help me out, we're going to go and meet with the city again. But yeah, I've already met with them twice. I did that while under contract.
That's awesome.
And then
Good
I did
for
it
you, man.
afterwards.
That is absolute home run. That's like elite level thinking.
Well, and they said, well, would you be open to maybe creating some office spaces? Because we're in need of office. And I was like, yeah, of course.
Who needs the office?
What would you need?
Yeah. Give me
tell me what you need and we'll build it.
Yeah. If you can get me signed leases. Yeah. Well, if you can get me signed leases, done.
Before you build, you go to the lender.
Done. Oh,
hey, I have all these from the government leasing my property.
Yeah. No, it's funny because sometimes it takes somebody from outside to come in to see what's going on because that property's been sitting there forever.
It was on the market for a long time. No one was buying it.
Right.
And then when I bought it, people were like, you kind of paid a lot. And I'm like, well, I'm going to develop it. So whatever. I don't care.
It's just, and you had a great point because you're like, I don't need this to generate a ton of cash for me right now. I'm already doing that.
Yeah.
This is a long-term buy and hold for me, but I can now leverage that into other developments and partner with the city of Henderson, who they're wonderful to work with.
Oh, and it's beautiful. That city hall is gorgeous. And what's the practice team? Is it for the Golden Knights?
Silver
Knights.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a beautiful area.
Talk about that. We have the Raiders practice facility. Like it's the fastest growing corridor in town is at St. Rose Parkway corridor where Costco's gone in, and it's bananas.
Yeah.
But it's done in a way like the airport has expanded. I live out in Inspirata, so I hear the jets all the time. I'm used to it. I live in Manhattan for a couple of years, so whatever. But I love the growth. I'm all about positive economic development.
Same.
Is super cool, right?
Yeah.
And that you are coming in and saying, yeah, it's got to make money, but I don't have to make a killing on this.
Yes.
I love that about you. Well, that's super cool, Mark. That's great.
If you're going into and you got to realize, like, people are like, well, how do I get started? Okay, so if you're an agent and you're newer, save your money. Don't buy that Mercedes. Go and buy a duplex, FHA loan, live in one side, rent out the other. Then you move out, take those, turn them both into rentals, maybe Airbnb, short-term rental, whatever you can get going on there. I know in Nevada or in Vegas in particular, it's difficult for short-term rentals, but you can go and figure something out. You could do nurses, travel nurses. Then you go and you get another property, do the same thing. And then pretty soon that duplex that you bought that people told you overpaid for, like in my scenario, that I bought for $525 and I got it appraised for 1.3, I think recently. Overpaid by $5,000 to win that offer. Damn, shouldn't have done that.
Son of a bitch.
Can't believe I wasted $5,000 on that offer. Yes, same thing. I've had numerous times where people have told me I've overpaid. So, but it wins. Then I go and I take that 1031 exchange it into another property. So I took a triplex that I owned. I bought it for $600,000. I sold it for 1.2.
Awesome. Took
that $600,000 plus I think another $150,000 that I had, put that into the Henderson property. Bought the Henderson property for 1.5. Going to develop it. Probably going to cost around $8 million total. Demo. Well, how do I get that $8 million? Well, I have my property. Once I get all the entitlement, then the bank's going to look at it and say, hey, oh my gosh, you have, all this equity in it already because the value of the land is now X because it's not 11 shitty apartments. It's a lot that's entitled, ready to build 54 units. Your value goes up usually 6X. So then now I have equity that I created. Now I don't have to do a down payment and I can loan all of it. And then I have 0 partners because partners are for dancing.
So do you take investors on? There's a difference between, like syndicate deals and all that.
If I can get this all done, I don't have to have investors.
What about other projects that you're doing?
Triplex that I overpaid for.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
But do you take ever like syndication deals where like you're the managing partner and all that? It's all you.
I don't like having bosses. And then you have to report to people. I am creating a fund and I'm not finalized on it, but it's going to be all limited partners. They don't get any say. I'll give them their quarterly part. Yeah. I'll give them their quarterly, earnings from my attorney that they draft.
Investments, $50,000, $100,000, whatever, $100,000 to get in, and let me do my thing. You have no say in what goes on, and there's no guarantee you're going to make a dime.
We're not going to be on the phone.
Yep, you're never going to really talk to me that much. You'll get a quarterly thing will come out from my financial guy or girl.
Yeah, and if that's not for you, it's not for me. Like, so it's okay. Yeah,
and that's I'll tell you, that is you are breathing rarefied air when you're at that point in your life, and you are to say, if you want to work with me, like look at my track record. I don't have to prove myself to you.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at. If you want to work together, great. But this is on my terms, what's going to happen. And given my track record, I can't guarantee anything, but odds are you're going to get on base much likely more than strike out.
I've never struck out ever on any deal.
Really?
Pretty crazy. I've never even lost money on a flip. So,
and that's given
how you like them map balls.
Everything going on. That's a great movie. That's a great movie. Do you know what movie he's referring to? Good Will Hunting.
So we go, but yeah, and of course, like I'm not cocky. I just look at it, and if it makes sense, it makes sense. I think I can analyze deals better than the average individual, and I can see opportunity. I'm an opportunist. Yeah. And it seems to always work out perfectly. And is it like, people are like, oh, tell me about a time where you learned something and you moved, I'm like, that's kind of the past. Like that's, I'm sure I've had mistakes, but I've never had any losses in real estate or,
well, and that's why my questions are more like forward thinking stuff, like what's on your radar now? Like, are there other states or geographic areas you're looking to invest in beyond Henderson?
No, not right now. Yeah. I like it being in close proximity. I like Nevada. It's, easy to get to. I don't need it. It doesn't have to be. There's, a lot of people that will invest in other areas. I know that Henderson's on a growth, this whole area, not just Henderson, but just Vegas in general, that entire metropolis is just blowing up. Mostly from California. There's 4 of the top 5 counties. The top 4 are actually California counties that are moving here. Yeah. So
correct. Yeah.
That right there is showing and there's a influx of cash. We go to other cities and we look at stuff and I'm like, you want that for 11 units? Okay, I'll take 2. Like not 2 of the 11. I'll take 22 units because it's that cheap for Californians.
Without the group
that's where all the money's coming.
No, that's fun. Look at, you see what Wahlberg was in Carson City yesterday.
Oh, really?
Because he's committed Hollywood 2.0.
Yeah.
And he's production studios partnering with UNLV. Like they've already earmarked land.
San Diego is Hollywood 2.0. Did you hear about that?
No.
That's where like a lot of the production moved to, I think in the 60s.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So it was supposed to be the new Hollywood and it flopped.
Interesting.
All of it pulled back out. Okay. But it doesn't get out of the state for taxes and other reasons.
And and that's where he's in Carson City going, hey, you guys help me out here. I'm willing to, and he already is investing here because he's moved here. His family's here. Like he's all in with Vegas because he sees opportunity here. And there's no mudslides. There's no earthquakes like LA. And we're a very business friendly, like you go to Carson City, they're going to do business with you.
Yeah. And it's smart of them.
Oh, it's brilliant.
There's no reason why our government should be, you shouldn't have to jump through hoops. And even like the SBA loan for small businesses to come out, like the amount of fees that the government adds on and the difficulty, and it's insane. I'm like, why is this not easier? And you wonder why people struggle. Like you have made it so hard for people to succeed.
Layers and layers of bureaucratic horseshit.
Yes. And you ask for answers and no one fucking knows.
Which is the opposite of an entrepreneur that has a great business idea, has a little bit of capital to get this thing rolling, but needs just a little bit of help.
Yes.
To give them that over the edge to get them rolling. And the government's like, nope, you got to do this, and this.
Yeah. And it's like, you were already having an issue with just everything in general. Why are they making it more difficult?
Yeah.
I'm not saying no. But on the reverse, like people don't need a handout. You just need to go and actually give them the services that they deserve and what our taxes should be paying for. You should not make it more difficult. You should not be giving me shit when I go to the county office about building something. Like there should be no attitude, and there's attitude sometimes. And you're like, what the fuck?
Well, there's deal makers and deal breakers in the world.
Yes.
And that if I'm an entrepreneur and if I'm walking into the city planner or zoning board meeting or a planning committee meeting, I want to be talking to deal makers, not deal breakers, hiding behind volumes of ordinances and laws that say you can't do what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's more about, let's find a way to make this thing work.
Yeah, and which, by the way, you can upload those volumes of ordinances, throw it into ChatGPT, train it, and then you can ask it questions. It'll tell you the answer.
That's awesome. It's so good, dude. It's so good.
But on it, when I went to City Hall at Henderson, the opposite, I was getting walked around by people, introduced to people.
You're wonderful there.
This guy wants to develop the lot across the street. Like that's how it was when I was walking around. I was like, you guys are awesome.
You're like right across the street from I forget the name of it. I was just there last week, but an amazing coffee place that's there.
So that's a different corner. So that's the architect. So on the corner,
Oh, okay.
he built all that.
Okay.
So he owns the coffee shop,
Coffee
the
place is
architect
great. A
building.
phone booth in there.
Yeah,
I love
he's
it.
a world-renowned architect. He does massive skyscrapers in Beijing. He
No
has,
shit.
yeah, he has stuff all over the world.
I love it.
He's amazing. He's the guy that's moving to San Diego.
Right on.
So he already lives there. He has a house there. He's going back and forth. But he's the guy who's told me, he goes, you can build 54 units there, by the way. I was like, ding, ding, ding.
Go. So,
Yeah.
so you just go vertical.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah. So it's kind of spaced out right now, but it'll be offices on the front, whether it's like, coffee shop or commercial or whatever. And then building up, it may be offices like live work. And then above it will be apartments.
One last question to wrap up. A year from now, where do you see yourself? What are you doing?
I don't plan that. Things change too quickly. I mean, do you think we would be doing all what we're doing with ChatGPT already? And
Nope.
we'd even freaking think about it 2 years ago.
Nope.
So
Agreed.
the way that things change and the way the market shifts, I have no idea. I know I will still be creating businesses, and I hopefully will have no strikeouts.
I don't think you'll be striking out, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks
Thank you for
having
your time. You're a good man.
Thank you.